Coming up next on Columbus Connection, Columbus, Georgia is the epicenter of college football, and we're going to talk about a certain team. Welcome to Columbus Connections. I am your host, David Britt, and if you are watching this show after January the 8th, hopefully you are watching under Georgia being the national champions for the 2017 season. If not, we're going to still have fun today because we are talking to two of the people who were on Georgia's, who played, not were just on, they played on the field in Georgia's last victorious national championship. Now, if you don't realize how big Columbus is in college football, think about this now. We're in Georgia, so of course, a bunch of Georgia fans. We're on the border of Alabama, and we're 30 miles away from Auburn. So when you talk college football, you have to talk SEC. And when you talk SEC, you have to talk Columbus, Georgia. They are, where else does it get any better? And what better way to recognize that than, again, to talk to two people who were on the national championship team, have had shows on ESPN. Every year, they bring down college coaches from the best college teams. They do so much, and they are responsible for so many great young people from Columbus being on great teams. None other than Dale Williams and DJ Jones. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, David.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to you. We see you on TV, and we see you on the sidelines. But what you do for the community as far as getting young men and young people who have aspirations of attending a college and playing for them and getting them there. And not just that, but making it seem attainable. If no one else has ever told y'all thank you for that, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
That's a very big thing.
Appreciate it. But what you got to understand is that we were them at one point in time in this community. We played youth ball, played high school ball here. We, this was our village, and we had a lot of people that had their hands on us.
Yeah. What made you again, you all played together on the 1980 team. When did you all decide to do the show and do the things that you all are doing now?
Well, that came about like in 2004 when we started Sports Vision, and really it was an easy thing. Long story short, DJ was the sports anchor at WRBL Channel 3. I was working at a church in the TV ministry, and I got assigned to get a TV show for the pastor there at the church. Mm-hmm. So, and then doing all my homework and my due diligence, I found out, I think I can pull this off right here, go get some sponsorships, and we can do this. So I asked DJ, I said, if I go get some sponsors, would you be the co-host of the show? And DJ said, yeah, rest is history, when you started a show, when you didn't even have a camera, mm-hmm. There's a lot of vision. But vision has gotten me and DJ where we've gotten to today. From the Georgia piece all the way to Sports Vision, it's always been the stuff that we were exposed to and the things that we saw, and we always spoke to it, and we kind of stayed general. We grew up as little boys, mm-hmm. basically talking about sports. Yeah. And that's what we're doing today.
It becomes a second nature. Yeah. Let's talk about how big this area is as far as talent in college football. I mean, the reason that you all can get these big, huge coaches? These ain't just you are getting the coaches every year coming down talking to these kids. How important is that, and why does that happen?
That, I think, really, it speaks for us, again, our pedigree, and we know people know we played on Georgia's national championship. But I think for us, the last 5 or 6 years, we have shown people that what we want to do is sincere and true. Got great corporate backing to be able to do those high school football luncheons from the standpoint of, from going from this year we're at Dabo Sweeney, Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Gus Malzahn, Mark Richt. And these guys, you speak to the talent around here, they're not just coming to see me and DJ. They know that there's a wealth of talent around here. They're not coming to see us, they're coming to see the players that are here.
Mm-hmm. Now you all have, this show, Sports Vision has been running since 2004.
That's right.
And where can people watch it? How can people find it? How can people see it?
I'm glad you asked that because, again, what's happened here recently in the last several months is that we've been shown airing on 2 different networks, the CW as well as WRBL. And, of course, you can catch it on Saturday mornings on the CW at 6:30 a.m. and on Sunday mornings you can catch us on WRBL at 6 a.m.
Nice.
And the good thing about it, you can go to our website too, www.sportsvisionusa.com, and you can catch us anytime that you want to. And we found out that really our website, we've visited by so many people on our website, from 42 states around the country to every military base in the world. A lot of people watch us on our website. So that's been good for us also. And it gets us out of the box. Some people think you're just regional, East Alabama, West Central Georgia. We're all around the world now.
Oh yeah, international.
Big.
Yeah. That game in 1980. Tell me, who did Georgia play?
We played Notre Dame.
They played Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
What is just going into that from the last game to knowing that you're going to the national championships? Take us through that.
Well, I'll refer that to you, Bill, because it was a process. My freshman year coming in, my freshman class, a lot of notoriety, a lot of star status in that class. But
so you were a freshman coming in, but you had been there.
Yeah, I had been there. That was my junior year. But the biggest thing about it, when I look back to Georgia and Notre Dame, and we're preparing for that game in itself, we had just won a couple of great victories against Florida on the Lindsey Scott play. We beat Georgia Tech. We ranked #1 in the country. And just in the preparation from December to Christmas Eve, we were preparing to play Notre Dame. We had the great Herschel Walker. And one thing that we look back and we say now, why was that team so good? DJ's freshman class was probably one of the top freshman class ever at the University of Georgia. I think they had a record of something like 41-3 throughout his career as a freshman class. That piece right there kind of took us over the top because we had a lot of freshmen that played some significant minutes and time. We had Herschel Walker, Buck Blue, Lindsey Scott had a great defense, Eric Russell, defensive coordinator. We had the personality. We were a traditional University of Georgia team, junkyard dog team. And really, when we got to New Orleans, we felt that no stage was big enough for us.
Was Georgia favored in the game, or were they the underdog?
Of course not. We weren't favored. Going
So
against the
people
great
looked
Notre
at,
Dame.
and that's what I was leading to.
Yes.
People now, the way it is now is people really don't like to give the SEC the credit it deserves for just being a dominant conference. But going against the big Notre Dame, and just as in today, if Georgia played Notre Dame, I'd go for Georgia 100 times.
Well, let's back it up a little bit because again, when Dale didn't really tell you what happened the year prior. I mean, obviously the couple of years prior to that, obviously nobody in the world would have predicted that we would have won the national championship in 1980 when you consider the seasons prior to that. It was rocky roads.
So Georgia had been losing a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, my sophomore year at Georgia, we were 6-5, but we still almost won the SEC during that time. But we were 6-5, got beat by Auburn. Brooks and Creels probably had 200 yards apiece against us. We lost some games. We lost our homecoming game to Virginia.
Wow.
We lost some big time games, but we got worked that summer. Summer, that junior class that came in, the freshman class that was coming in, we really worked that summer. And, like I said, you'll hear us say this all the time, championships are made in the summer. The summer before we won the championship, we put the work in, and it kind of really just showed itself when we were playing in the national championship game because we really worked that summer.
That's a big word, work.
Worked.
Yeah.
And when you say work, conditioning.
Yeah.
Preparing, getting your body right. Because again, we didn't have the biggest, strongest team, obviously, each week that we played, but we had a well-conditioned team, and the fourth quarter is what we prided ourselves on at that time. As, of course, throughout the right now, when you see them holding that number 4 up, those 4 fingers up,
that's right.
During the fourth quarter, the University of Georgia prides themselves on being in condition and ready to play in the fourth quarter.
Gotcha.
And really, like DJ was saying, but from time you know what bowl game, right after the SEC championship game, you know what bowl game you're going to. The process is like that. You got to take finals. You got to get your finals out the way. From December to New Year's Eve, well, not New Year's Eve, but like Christmas Eve, you're going to practice. You're going to be conditioned. You're going to get ran. You're going to do all those things. You get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to be at home, and then that next day, boom, you're going to the bowl game for a whole week. So this week's game, it being the game up until the national championship game, it's just going to be like a game preparation, a week, the week of the game preparation. The conditioning piece, they're going to continue to get conditioned, but more so than anything, they're putting in game plans right now. And that's what's going on right now.
Yeah. So what are your predictions? What's your prediction for the score, Alabama versus Georgia?
Man, obviously everybody's going to know that, again, if they followed Sports Vision at all, they knew since the SEC championship game, I had predicted that Georgia would win, and I was pretty close in the score, same way with Oklahoma. But with Alabama, it's going to be a little different. Obviously, it's going to be a heartfelt game, but I think that Jake Fromm's going to be the difference maker. Alabama's going to stack the box. Obviously, our running game, I expect them not to stop it completely. But our freshman quarterback, Jake Fromm, in my opinion, is going to have to use the vertical game to break things open. And I'll predict 31-24 Alabama. Excuse me, 34-21 Georgia.
Ooh,
a slip of the tongue, just a slip of the tongue.
I was like, who is this guy right here, man? Where he come from? But yeah, I think to piggyback what DJ said, I think it's going to be a very close game, very physical game. I just think defensively, Georgia got to turn up a little bit more on defense, pressure. Jalen Hurts a little bit more. I think the other piece is going to be this: it's the referees and the officials going to dictate how tight they can call the game. And what I mean by tight, Alabama is known for they're going to smother you on the corners with their secondary. Or they're going to let them use their hands. They're going to let them be a whole lot physical. That's going to be interesting. But we know they're going to be on top of Jake Fromm. They're going to try to make him throw the ball. But I think really one of the biggest things is going to be real simple. Special teams and turnovers. Who get the turnovers? Who does well on special teams? Because I really think they're evenly matched. I think Alabama plays a little bit more aggressive on defense, but I think this time the Kirby's going to turn his guys loose to get after Jalen Hurts, and we come out with a win. Some kind of way we come out with a win, 24-20, Georgia.
There you go, DJ Jones and Dale Williams. Can we get a shot of the ring? Are we able to get a close-up of the gigantic ring that I have been trying to squint every time the light hits it? Yes, sir. This is the last chapter. Can I touch?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I don't want to turn it into a pillar of salt. But yeah, we're looking to add another one of those to the repertoire of Georgia. Going to be whoever you root for is going to be a great game. It's just great to be in a place who has the best bragging rights. The camaraderie of Georgia and Alabama and Auburn, to the point where UCF wants to have a parade just because they beat Auburn. But anyway, we're going to celebrate all of the SEC teams, celebrate the fact that it brings us all together. But yeah, we're going to still root for Georgia all day long. Go Dogs. We'll see you next time on Columbus Connections.
Roll Tide!